If you want to go to Melbourne from Sydney, you need a map. If you don't know the route, you have never been to Melbourne, you don't even know what Melbourne looks like. And through that map, you can get to that place. There are different maps. There is Apple, Google, and many other navigation systems and new technology. You can basically say, like Apple, Siri, can you please take me to this destination? And it takes you. But if that destination does not take you there, then that means that design is not correct. There is some false play in that design now. There has been a layer of misunderstanding has been added for a personal gain, for something else, not for the fact, not for where Melbourne is, that guides you directly to Melbourne. The same if what is called truth, what is called by many names like divine God, Allah, Ishwar, Bhagwan, or whatever, has actually no name of itself, but many names over time has been given to that source through which everything arises. And if that has not been discovered and you still feel anxiety, you still have fear, you still attach to this body, you still have all the attachments of your family that you fear, then what is called dharma or what it was designed for has not done its job. So instead of praising it, the question need to be asked to those who are actually preaching in those institutions, and that why it is not working. Just like medicine is taken, and if it is not cure, you ask the doctor that this medicine is not working. Why? Give me some other medicine. So there are 2 points. One, there is no desire, just you go to entertain yourself. Just like eating food, you go there just to pass your time. That is different story. But if there is a genuine interest, you're really looking for cure. You are on the path that you think you are, and it has not paid, it has not given you what you wanted, then perhaps you need to question that path. And until and unless you question it honestly, nothing will change. Life will continue, be lived till you waste your whole life, and then at the last breath, what you get? Have you discovered what you're here for? Or you have wasted your time just on a false map? See it clearly, only then you can be free from these false maps and come to the right direction. Just like when you go to somewhere, you don't argue about maps, you choose one that works. Today there are many maps, Google, Apple Maps, and other navigation systems. Different interfaces, different voices, different routes, but if they work, they all take you to the same destination. No one worships the map, no one protects the map as sacred, no one says, my map is superior, therefore your destination is false. That is the agenda. Fighting groups. My map is better than yours. My religion is better than yours. This is where you have to see. Because the destination is known, that's why these words are designed from that source itself, not from someone, not from a group. From that one source, these words come time to time, and they point to that one undivided reality, the one undivided source which is within all forms. This is why maps work. They are created after the destination is known, not before. Now look at what has happened with what is called God, the divine truth, Allah, Vaheguru, Ishwar, Bhagwan, many names, many languages, many scriptures. Originally, these were like maps, different languages, different cultures, different expressions, but all pointing to the same source, not competing for validation, not separate truth, just that undivided one. Not even the word one can be used here. And here is the crucial question that is never asked. If the destination is real, why has it not reached? Why it has not worked if it is real? If these maps truly led there, why after hundreds or thousands of years is humanity still arguing about the route? If a plane's navigation system keeps flying but never lands, you don't praise the system, you question it. You don't protect it, you don't worship it, you don't fight others over it. You say, this is not taking us where we intended to go. A real navigation system works because the destination is already known. The engineer knows exactly where the plane must land. That is why the route is precise. That is why it corrects itself mid-air. That is why it arrives. If the destinations were unknown, no navigation system could exist. So ask yourself honestly, have these religions' roots landed anywhere in what they speak about? Or has intention shifted from destination to protecting the map? From truth to identity, from clarity to group belonging? This is where division begins. This map is correct, that map is false, air is bigger, air is secret, air is chosen, and soon the destination disappears entirely. What remains is image, reputation, power, fear of losing authority. The route becomes outward, towards validation, towards being seen as spiritual, towards being right in the other's eyes, and what is inward, silent, direct, and beyond imagination is never entered. Truth is not owned. The sun does not shine differently based on belief. Water does not behave differently based on religion. The wind does not ask your name before touching your skin. If two people fall in the sea does not save one and drown the other. Reality is equal, undivided, impartial. That is the nature of what is called divine. So if what is being taught creates division, fear, identity, and conflict, then it is not pointing to truth, no matter how ancient the language, no matter how revered the book, no matter how sacred the symbol. Because truth does not divide, it does not belong, it does not recruit, it does not need protection. The real root was never outward. It does not move through belief, it does not move through group's identity, it does not move through inherited ideas. It moves beyond imagination, beyond the mind need belonging, beyond the need to be right, and that is why it cannot be owned, sold, or defended. When this is seen clearly, no arguments remain, arguments end. Not because one map wins, but because the obsession with maps dissolve, and what remains is what all maps were quietly pointing to, that which is nameless, undivided, and equally present in everyone. What is being pointed to is equally present in everyone. That is not the problem. The problem is not the absence of truth. The problem is interference. Just as sunlight is available everywhere but can be blocked by clouds, truth is present everywhere but filtered by conditioning. The mind is trained from childhood to see through layers: name, family, religion, nation, belief, memory. These layers are not evil, they are learnt, but once learnt, they become a lens. And everything is seen through that lens. Because of this, the same truth appears divided. Not because it is divided, but because it is interpreted. One mind sees my God, another sees your God, another sees a threat, another sees an enemy. The source is the same, the conditions are different, and conclusions are different. This is how conflict arises, not from truth itself, but from identification with thought. When the mind mistakes its conditioning for reality, it reacts. It defends, it attacks, it compares, it separates, and suffering follows naturally. Fear of loss, fear of being wrong, fear of the other. So when violence division and cruelty appears, it is not because truth is absent, it is because it is covered. Covered by memory, covered by belief, covered by identity, covered by fear. Like clear water running through a polluted pipe, what emerges looks contaminated, but the source was never poisoned. That is why no system can fix the world. You can change maps, you can redraw boundaries, you can replace scriptures. But if the lens remains untouched, division continues. Because the problem is not what is known, it is how knowing happens. When the mind is quiet, even briefly, without defending an identity, without reaching for certainty, without trying to belong, what remains is obvious. No belief is required, no authority is needed, and in that clarity, enmity does not arise. Not because it is pressed, because there is nothing left to oppose. And the moment this is seen, even partially, the cycle of division loosens its grip. Not everywhere, not all at once, but exactly where it can. That is where change actually begins, and truth reveals itself to itself. The destination was never elsewhere, it was always the point of departure. So here, destination is not elsewhere like in this world. Like Sydney to Melbourne, that's not how the truth is. Truth is exactly where the destination is and exactly where you are departing from. The same point that you want to leave is where truth is. It is not from here to there. Truth is not 2 points, A and B. It is everything and all at once. Wherever you are standing, you are working from that truth, from that source. But the mind interpretation changes everything, that lens through which you see everything, that divides, changes everything. Truth cannot be reached that way. But if you leave all the divisions, everything that thought can point to, then you are already standing on where truth is, beyond anyone, beyond any notions, beyond any concepts, beyond any thought. That is the source. Just like the waves have a source, ocean itself. All the waves are connected to one ocean. Without that ocean, the waves cannot arise. Same, all the matter has a source, that unseen, undivided source. And that is not a form or matter that you see separately. That is formless, and that formless is within, not outwardly. But attention is fighting outwardly. Attention is on the maps, my map, your map. Therefore, right direction is coming inward, leaving the disturbance of mind, leaving the divisions, leaving all that has been learned, and then it is already here.